having the last. You would be having the. Am I audible? You would be having the last year option of studying more advanced subjects, that is BSc honors. Right? With this background, we'll be moving forward. So first, what is there first? Simply, you have directly two options, either to be an employee or to become an employee. These are the two direct options. These are the two direct options what you have. Apart from that, undergraduate or postgraduate, you do have the option of higher education. Either you can, if you are an undergraduate, you have to do PG. UG का मतलब here 4-year UG. If you have 75%, you are entitled to do the PhD directly. This is what higher education is for an undergraduate. For a postgraduate, you do have PhD program from this year on or from the last academic year. MPhil is closed permanently. So you have the PhD as an option for higher education. Even if you go for higher education, you have the options of either being an employee or an employer. So first we move to the option of employee. So when you are thinking from the direction of an employee, please remember that now this is a global village. You have competition not only within, from outside also. Right? How Indians are going outside, you have seen many of the software people, they are working in the US or Silicon Valley in specific and many countries. Most of our doctors, they are working in many renowned hospitals abroad. Likewise, now we have the extension. Likewise, now we have the opportunities open in the other avenues of life sciences also, where you can go outside and also work. So therefore, think globally. Now this is a global village where opportunities are outside India and within India. So here, with this, I move to the next slide. This is the conventional opportunities that are there in the life sciences. And here students of geology are also there. We will address even the point of the geology students also. So here in the life sciences, you have academics as an option as well as industry as the second option. For botany, biotechnology, any life sciences. So in academics, you have the universities as well as exclusive dedicated institutes, ICERs, IISCs, NICERs, IITs, everything. So in case you are going to the universities, you have again teaching option, non-teaching option, as well as certain temporary options like project fellows or senior researchers to just accustom or acclimatize with the research demands of that particular profession. And coming to institutes, you have the supporting staffs like pool officer, scientific officer, to even scientists of all ranges. So apart from that, what industry is offering? You are seeing in the last couple of years, life science or pharma industry has a lot of boom. You can see that India has become the largest vaccine producer in the whole world for the COVID-19. So here what this particular industry has for life science. You can see first directly there is a production department followed by quality control. Once you have the product in hand, then you need to do the related marketing. And after marketing, you can't stay with that. So you have to develop the product. So further, so therefore R&D is also there. So in all the three cases, when pharma industry or life science industry is there, the students with the domain of life sciences, the students with the domain of life sciences have opportunity in every sector or in every field. Production, quality control, marketing or R&D. Only variation there is the other skills matter here. So that means, for example, if you are in production department, so you should be knowing not only the basics of the subject, you would be knowing what is the quantity that is required. That means the chemistry behind that. So how to extrapolate the amount that has to be produced, what level of the ingredients you have to add. So therefore the knowledge of chemistry will come to play. And afterwards, you need to know the certain government based rules, how to dispose something or how to dispose the end product, how to dispose the byproduct, or in such cases, when you are using the, when you are working in the production department, what are the parameters that have to be followed as per the government, as per the industry norms, you would be knowing. When you come to quality control, you need to know that what is the precise form of that efficacy or not. So therefore here you need to know not only chemistry, little bit of biochemistry, molecular biology also to be in this domain. So the same thing, if you extend further, it will be going into R&D. And when you come to the domain of marketing, the needs are simple. You have a product, you know what it is, the consumer doesn't know what it is. So you have to carry the best points of this product to the consumer. So therefore, what you need to know, apart from the domain knowledge, you need to know the marketing skills here. So these particular things will give the variation, and this variation will give you the opportunities. You just imagine, you might be 30 in the class, you were taught by the same teachers, you were taught the same syllabus, but when you go out for market, why one of you gets selected, why the other doesn't get selected? So there, the particular interpersonal skills, soft skills, other things will play a role. So all these are taken care in our curriculum. Now coming to the geology department or geology students. Geology, now you have a lot of opportunities now even in private sector. Earlier it was a government driven sector where you have remote sensing, space related, ground water related, or geological survey related, mining, minerals, all these national institutes offering you multiple opportunities. But now in the private sector, you do have a consultancy mode. Even from MSc, you can work as a surveyor, or you can be a supporting consultant in most of the local survey activities or mining activities. Therefore, geology has an equal scope. Okay. So now, moving from the conventional opportunities, what are the contemporary opportunities, what you people only have, what the earlier generations doesn't have. So here, apart from the domain knowledge, you need to have multidisciplinary knowledge, not only your subject, not only botany, not only biotechnology, not only geology. You need to have the knowledge related to other things. What is common in the given professional level jobs? What is common? What do you see commonly there? Right? You have science as common, but the variation is the extra skills that are required are changing. See, the first program has journalism related skills as its basic requirement. Then the other three managerial skills are required. So that means if you are sticking to your own domain, you can't survive in the contemporary field. So you need to proceed in such a way that your choice is as per your profession. That is why this UG programs are offering minor, which you can choose as per your goals. Okay, and content writers. If you see content writers, look out for any website or any particular blog or any particular government organization to anything. They require content writers. So here domain knowledge plus English should be there. So you might have a wonderful idea, but if you can't present it in the given stipulated time, so it will be a waste of a chance. So therefore, here the contemporary solutions are moving from conventional. You do have conventional opportunities, but the competition is very huge, right? Apart from that, now there is one more opportunity that has arisen during COVID period, that is freelancers. You can work from your home at your convenience, but only thing is you should be having a complete command over the subject. That means you need not depend on anybody to complete a task at that level of proficiency. If you are there, with the help of AI skills, there are many opportunities coming over. I'll just show you in the next slide. So please keep this in mind. And moving from employee, now if you want to become an employer, what are the areas that are there in the life science? So in general life science, if you see, one is from the end of plants, the other end is from the end of animals. We'll take this as a simple example. So from the end of plants, if you see, you have directly the agriculture as a basic demand now. Because now we see, we are moving away from eating anything to eating organic food. So growing something organic manifests multiple fold value, not only economically, nutritionally, health-wise and everything. So therefore the demand is towards agriculture. If you are doing conventional agriculture, you get some X, but if you do organic or natural farming, it might become 2X, 2.5X or 3X depending upon the agricultural product what you are working. So once you have the product in hand, all might not be sold overnight, right? You should have a proper storage, and how to preserve nutrition is important. You can see even the refrigerator advertisements also. Now nutrition lock or preserving the nutrition, they are trying to do this. So therefore, next level of domain where you can apply yourself to generate revenue or to start a business is after the farmer has produced something, he is not able to handle it. So can you handle it without losing the nutrition or to preserve the nutrition as long as possible? That means not only cold storage, you can add value to it, change the form of the vegetable or fruit into some other thing and generate the revenue. These can be from a small scale. You need not have large industries to do all this. These can be a small scale industry, household industry also. Now after that, exclusive demand, just we said about value and value addition, that is food processing. Here food processing requires a lot of guidelines to be followed. FSSAI is the Indian own ISI standards and all this. So here you need to be a little bit watchful when you are moving to pure food processing. So food processing industry is not only located for the consumption in India, even you can export it outside. Okay, even the simplest mushroom that is being grown in and around this area is getting exported to Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia also. So, but you need certain norms to be followed for this. Then after this, when you have produced, when you have processed, when you have consumed, there is something that is very valuable that is left, that is the waste. So that waste also can be employed to generate a revenue. So we'll be seeing in the next couple of sites what the waste has as a value product. Now apart from that, now after plant, if you see the animal or when you see the animal science, we can see that there is human healthcare industry, there is even animal husbandry, there are other extensions of this. So here we'll take one into account, we'll take the pharma sector. In the pharma sector, just a few examples to know the present day value. If we if we have a fever or something, we want to become normal by next day. But if you are hungry and if you don't have a staple food like rice, then you'll try to shift for wheat or millets or something. But when we come to health, we don't have any time or compromise. We want to become immediately normal and do our routine. Therefore, the pharma industry is having a little bit edge over the plant science industry, but that is getting narrowed down. So in the pharma sector, the present problems are, in the last 2 decades, there are at least, for example, X number of antibiotics in the pipeline so that the future superbugs could be handled. But now, at the present, there are only 2 to 3 molecules here. If we can identify antimicrobials which are not having any side effects, okay, so there is a lot of scope there. And second thing, we can see that now cancer is very common. So we could see that in cancer, we have only medicines for stage 2, stage 3, to a certain extent in stage 3. But beyond that, we don't have. Now even those drugs, the cancer is getting resistant. So there is no single drug which works for all cancers. Every cancer drug is specific to only certain cancers. And with the time, if it is not judiciously used, the drug will get weaker and weaker, or the cancer will become more resistant. So therefore, there is always a chance to make new drugs which are required for humanity. Now that drugs, after discovery, you need to have it in right formulations. So they're making formulations is also a big industry. Bulk drug industry, they prepare the bulk drugs. But what formulation you have to make? Simple, one more example I would like to quote. We have only single molecule which is anti-inflammatory and antipyretic. That means when you have a fever, without subsiding inflammation, you just have paracetamol. If by any chance, during down the lane due to lifestyle changes and other things, if our body gets resistant to paracetamol, we don't have second drug. So this much avenues are there in the pharma industry if you want to start a particular industry of your own. After this, there is again lot of restrictions in the packaging industry. You might have prepared a wonderful molecule, but if you did not pack, if you did not store, or if you did not send it to the consumer properly, it is not of any use. And apart from that, plastic, you know, the least usable molecule or least usable product now. Earlier it was a very commonly used product, but now it is a least used product. So the packaging in bottles is also gradually getting banned. So when you sterilize a plastic bottle, it will release nano or microplastic. Therefore, medicines or syrups now can't be used in the regular plastic bottles. So packaging industry is now very much open. You could see in COVID-19 how many gloves we have used or how many masks we have used and thrown. So now recyclable things are required at this point of time where you can think from the direction of becoming an employer in that direction. So apart from this genomics section is again a big opening, because now we could see that lot of genetic disorders are there which are unnoticed. Type 1, type 2 diabetes we just know. Beyond type 2 diabetes, gestation diabetes has come. Now beyond that, type 3, type 4 has come. Now diabetes insipidus is there, just as one example. Apart from that, there are many genetic disorders just due to not chromosomal loss, gene mutations. So early detection, then how to see that whether the person is becoming a carrier or a patient. So all these things, genome sequencing, after genome sequencing, personalized medicine, everything is now coming under the genomics aspect. If you know the artificial intelligence and the basic domain knowledge, you can do all this as freelancer sitting at your home, right? This is the artificial intelligence plus the life science domain new window has opened up. And the diagnostics also we should not forget, because the early detection is always safe, right? So for early detection, diagnostics are the only source. So simple example again, cancer or any genetic disorder, the early the person gets detected, the easy the way to cure it. Okay. Now moving on, just for an employer in the present scenario, these are the timeless options. That means any point of time in our lifetime, if you can venture into these fields, there are always opportunities. Just imagine Bill Gates has purchased 270,000 acres in US. Why? Because the potential after pharma industry is in the agriculture industry. By 2050, the population is expected to double and the amount of cultivatable land would become half. Therefore, agricultural tools are very important. Tools means don't think just about an equipment. Even the biofertilizer, even coming down to the multifunctional tools, automated tools, you could see now the daily wagers are not available for the field work. So starting from the basic tools to the application of biopesticides, biofertilizers, everything is a big opportunity. Then after that, diagnostics we have just discussed. Then drug discovery we have discussed. Now here comes the option of recycle or repurpose. So there is no product that is waste. We just don't know how to use it. So now we have to identify either to bring back its original thing. That means we have a plastic bucket which is broken. So we are discarding it. That is becoming a burden to the nature, right? So now we should have a mechanism to bring back the plastic, okay, or repurpose. You have certain things. For example, you have lot of vegetable waste. Wherever you see in any colony or any, even Raitu Bazaar, you will be having dumps of vegetables that are rotten or spoiled, right? They will allow many microorganisms to survive. Now, what we can do? We can convert them either into a manure or into a fertilizer or something. So here, recycling and repurposing has a huge market. There is no end. We are seeing only e-commerce or even the e-waste. Now beyond that, every waste has a value in it. We just need to identify. So this is the other timeless opportunity what we have. Now moving on. This is not only from, this is from our end. Even our government is supporting us through various schemes. Starting from Make in India and all these schemes are there, where government is also supporting us. And from this, the people's individual background to individual capacity. Startup India, Stand Up India, Make in India, all these are there. Okay. And apart from this, there is exclusive schemes by the government for the girls or women. See, there are more than 9 schemes that are available for any girl, child or woman to take up the entrepreneurship. Now, to explore further, this is what currently we can, all this can be known by just browsing internet for 1 hour. But beyond that, what is there? What India has become in the last few years or last decade? This is what India is. India is the largest producer of total agricultural product. That means we have a lot of agricultural produce. How to use it? How to grow it? How to value it? How to do value addition to it? To this, or how to process the agricultural waste? Everything. See, we will see a simple example. Delhi, every season of after every season after wheat cultivation, there is lot of wheat being burned, and Delhi is suffering with that. Why this is happening? Because we don't have a reason how to use the wheat after harvest. We are generally a harvested wheat is commonly used for grazing of animals, but beyond that, we can't. We don't have an idea. We are burning it. We are increasing the air pollution. So therefore, we have this much of agricultural produce. We can think that after harvesting, what could be done to all this agricultural waste, right? See, we can see the pulses, cotton, sugarcane, milk, and all this. These are all our production. So there are many byproducts and waste products out of the systems. So how to utilize them? And apart from that, we are having other sectors growing up. You can see that the aviation sector, passenger traffic sector, and other sectors also dominating, which they can have a negative effect on the society. So life science students can think over that line and bring solution to that. See, aviation sector, domestic aviation sector has increased a lot. So therefore, there would be air pollution. So what are the trees that should be grown to decrease air pollution? If we can work out and identify that, that would be a great help to the nation. Or we have a lot of renewable energy. The fans are being installed to get the current from the wind. So do we have any plans that can enhance the speed of the wind flowing? Like actually now, if they flow, the speed of the wind will increase. So these are all the opportunities that are there which are untapped. We just need to think whatever is your thinking potential, that would be the opportunity in the field of life sciences. Just to conclude, these are all aspirations. So to achieve this, there are certain requirements. First, you should have proper domain knowledge, not a casual study like a newspaper reading. You should read this thoroughly. After reading this, you should not stick to your subject. You should know the other parallel disciplines also. Once you get that, you should be good at observation. See, like when we are going outside, we see sky is blue. But how many have you thought in your schooling that why sky is blue? We generally avoid many of the natural phenomena. So you should have good observation skills. After that, then when you have found out something, then you should be able to think to the core and identify the possible solutions. So you need critical thinking. After critical thinking, you will be having certain options. Then you should be logically good to identify what are the best alternatives. After logical thinking, you should have values. Here we are not just to earn money and survive. We are here to survive as a society, and here we have to contribute back to the nation. Therefore, you have to have the societal values, family values, and even human values. So then you can think appropriately. Once you have that, then always you can't come to a single conclusion. There can be 2-3 options in your mind, but you will not be able to decide. So therefore, their decision making should be there. Once you have inculcated the decision making, the thing is you should be ready to take certain risks. Now you think that okay, at this point you are sure 80% you are very sure that it might work. At least 90% there is a risk. But you should be now in a situation to take that risk. And finally, you have to have patience to get the results. So all these things we are trying to bring them onto your desk through the curriculum of that is through NEP based programs. So I hope that you will be availing this opportunity to study and you will be fulfilling your dreams possibly through this particular education. Okay. Thank you.
So only 2 questions are permitted to ask because of the time constraint. So only 2 questions are permitted.
you have any doubts, you are welcome anytime. You can contact us in our department.
So thank you so much, sir, for making them to be aware about and to make and explore in the field of life science. And thank you once again on behalf of all of them and the people who are present here. Now we'll be moving on to the next presentation by the next talk is on Future in Chemistry by Professor Sharat Chandra Babu, sir, Dean School of Social Sciences and Humanities.